Some number of years from now, the Hollywood land side of Disney California Adventure will look completely different. What's going there and why Disney made this decision is the big debate the fan community is having right now. And despite all the recent discussion, it's not Zootopia. The rumor's been hard to miss. Along with the April 2026 demolition permit filings for Hollywoodland, there's been a wave of speculation that Disney may be reconsidering the IP there entirely, swapping Avatar out for Zootopia. The arguments are compelling: strong box office, a proven Shanghai track record, and an urban aesthetic that fits Hollywoodland more naturally than a bioluminescent alien ocean. We'll take a close look at those arguments, review the facts, and go over 5 reasons why Avatar is still the likely IP moving into the northeastern portion of Hollywoodland. At the end of the day, only Disney really knows what's coming here, and we'll likely get real confirmation at D23 in August, but this is my take based on everything we know at the moment. But first, the argument that you've probably heard most often is that dropping Pandora into a California based theme park behind classic Hollywood themed buildings creates a jarring thematic transition. But look at what Disney has already done with that exact question. As you're strolling down Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset Boulevard, you'll turn around and see the Collector's Alien Fortress. And when the walkway reopens, guests will walk directly from the futuristic superhero buildings of Avengers Campus into the dusty Route 66 world of Carsland. No transition tunnel, no extensive thematic buffer. Then, similarly, they'll walk from Carsland into San Francisco Square. How about the Matterhorn bobsleds at the edge of Tomorrowland? We can go on. Most of the time, adjacent lands are very disjointed. Likely, Disney will find a creative way to transition from Hollywood Boulevard to Pandora, and if it doesn't, nothing's really changed. On top of all this, DCA has already been moving away from the strict California theming and moving more towards the diverse Disney Adventure World model in Paris. Number 1, the point of no return. On April 9th, 2026, Disney submitted 9 coordinated confidential demolition permits to the city of Anaheim. 2 structures were explicitly confirmed in public records: the Monsters Incorporated Mike and Sully to the Rescue attraction and the Hollywood Lounge quick service counter. The remaining 7 are likely to cover at least Stage 12, Stage 17, and the Hollywoodland utility grid. This gives Disney a clean slate to build something completely new here. The Zootopia counterargument on these permits is a fair one. These are demolition permits and they confirm significant work to clear the area, but on their own, they don't specify which specific IP is coming. A Zootopia trackless ride would also require ground up clearing of this site, so the scale of demolition alone does not indicate one IP over another. What it does establish is that this project has crossed a threshold that can't be walked back in a low cost way. Foundation removal and utility capping are not exploratory in nature. These 9 permits represent the finishing stages of site preparation. Prior to all this, all of the initial design work for Avatar was already finished. The engineering to accommodate its complex water requirements was locked in, and the physical construction sequence is already in motion. There's also institutional evidence that supports all this. In February 2026 came the most recent formal statement from resort leadership. Then Resort President Thomas Maslum confirmed the Monsters Incorporated closure would shift from early 2026 to 2027 for capacity management reasons. The park is already dealing with the upcoming Avengers Campus expansion, the upcoming Coco boat ride, and the typical regularly scheduled refurbishments. Maslum explicitly stated that the delay would not affect the Avatar timeline. This last point is key. You don't manage a construction sequence around an Avatar timeline if there is no Avatar project. The simplest way to read all of this is that the permits alone don't prove Avatar is coming, but they do prove that whatever is coming can't be changed without starting over with design and planning, which likely already started prior to the original 2024 Avatar announcements. And the only thing on record as coming has only ever been Avatar. The permits and the institutional evidence tell us this decision is locked. but there is a specific reason why Avatar, and not just any IP, is the answer to a competitive question that the Disneyland Resort has had to deal with for over 2 decades. That's coming up. Number 2, the monorail. This is a great argument in the Zootopia case. The Disneyland monorail passes over the expansion site. In a Pandora setting, a 1959 retro futuristic transit system is a glaring fourth wall break that ruins the theming. In a Zootopia setting, the monorail easily blends as part of the city's transit infrastructure, which is a free thematic win. But consider what the same monorail already does. Today, it passes over 1920s Buena Vista Street, cuts through a 1930s Hollywood backlot, and glides past the 1950s California National Park at Grizzly Peak. And that's only in DCA. No fourth wall crisis or immersion issue. The monorail has always floated above the theming and not inside it for over 65 years. If Pandora is where the monorail finally becomes a problem, then Disney would have to believe that it's also a problem everywhere else it already goes. This doesn't appear to be the case. Number 3, the competitive gap. Universal Studios Hollywood currently operates the dominant cinematic large scale water based thrill ride experience in the Southern California theme park market. The Jurassic World ride is a high capacity, high spectacle aquatic attraction that has anchored that park for many years and is a primary motivation for guests to visit there. Disney California Adventure and the Disneyland Resort as a whole has no true competitive equivalent. This is a noticeable gap for Disney in the Southern California theme park landscape. Avatar closes that gap and does something Jurassic World can't respond to. Jurassic World, as a cinematic IP, has a visual language that's largely terrestrial and positions water as a delivery mechanism for the physical attraction. With Pandora's Oceans, the water is the world. It's bioluminescent, alien, and populated by unique creatures with both scale and visual design that'll be unique in the global theme park market. Disney is not looking to build a water based attraction to simply match what Universal already has. It's looking into building one to make what Universal already has feel like the previous generation. No other IP in Disney's current catalog fulfills this need. The Southern California theme park market is a competition for the same demographic. Universal Hollywood currently has a leading high concept water thrill ride in this market. The Avatar experience would finally be Disney's answer to this decades old competitive question. On top of this, Avatar would diversify the resort's ride portfolio. Zootopia would offer yet another trackless ride when we already have Rise of the Resistance, Runaway Railway, and soon to come, Avengers Infinity Defense. Avatar would bring in the dynamic water based technology that's been in use for years at Shanghai for Pirates of the Caribbean. If this kind of backstage Disney strategic analysis is your thing, that's what this channel is built around. Be sure to like and subscribe. Another reason for Avatar involves a resort wide infrastructure project on the other side of Harbor Boulevard, and this reveals how far into the construction phase all this has already gone. We'll get into that later. Number 4, the box office argument. Zootopia 2 grossed $1.7 billion globally in 2025, making it one of the highest grossing animated films of all time. It outperformed Avatar Fire and Ash domestically. Shanghai Disneyland Zootopia Land reportedly draws 1 in 4 guests as their primary visit motivation. That data and the argument built on it is strong, but it rests on an assumption Disney has never actually believed in, that box office performance influences theme park success. Tron Legacy grossed approximately $400 million globally, which is quite modest by any Disney blockbuster standard. Tron Light Cycle Run at Magic Kingdom and Shanghai Disney is now one of the most technically ambitious and guest beloved attractions at the Disney theme parks globally. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is part of an aging franchise and significantly underperformed at the box office in 2023. And yet, a new Indiana Jones attraction is currently under construction at Walt Disney World. Box office is an indicator, but not the primary factor. Imagineering selects IP based on what most effectively translates into a physical, emotional, three-dimensional world, not what topped the domestic chart the previous November. Avatar's per film global average of $2.2 billion grossed reflects extraordinary reach in diverse markets such as Asia, Latin America, and Europe. Animal Kingdom's Pandora has been successful at drawing in both domestic and international tourist demographics. Zootopia's successful theme park resonance outside of Shanghai remains an open question, and an open question shouldn't be the foundation for an expensive theme park investment. Number 5, the Eastern Gateway. The Eastern Gateway is not directly an Avatar related project. It's a resort wide infrastructure investment that includes a 3.2 million square foot, 8 level parking structure with more than 6,000 spaces and a new pedestrian bridge across Harbor Boulevard, designed to consolidate the arrival experience for the entire resort from the east. This would be happening regardless of what IP occupies the Hollywoodland expansion footprint. What the Eastern Gateway is, though, is a prerequisite. The current bus loops occupying the current eastern edge of the resort sit inside Avatar's planned footprint. These loops can't really go away until the gateway is at least close to being operational and the new bus transit has been relocated across Harbor Boulevard. This sequencing is documented and already in motion. The Team Disney Anaheim East Building demolition permit was filed February 11th, 2026 to clear the land for the parking structure. Construction begins this fall 2026. The existing Manchester parking lot also closes around the same time for staging. When the gateway becomes available around 2028, the bus loops can go away and Avatar's complete footprint is unlocked for vertical construction. The counter argument is fair. The gateway serves the whole resort. Both Avatar and Zootopia would benefit equally from its completion. The gateway isn't dependent on either IP. This is true, but Avatar's construction sequencing has already been planned around the gateway's completion timeline. This planning, which includes the construction staging and the permit chain, carry a cost. Recall that these plans already involved Avatar's complex water needs. Pivoting to Zootopia right now would force Disney to redo an already sequenced construction plan and potentially replan the phasing from scratch around a different IP and absorb that cost mid-cycle against commitments that already have deadlines in place. This decision isn't a purely creative one, it's tied to a construction timeline that carries a multi-year price tag. When you look at all 5 of these, the permits, the monorail, the competitive gap, the box office framework, and the infrastructure chain, we can clearly see the resort's overall design goal. Disneyland already has Star Wars Galaxy's Edge as a major anchor, a world class, IP driven destination that reshaped guest flow and the cultural identity of the park. Disney California Adventure needs the same on its eastern end, not just an identical version of something already operating in Shanghai. It needs its own significant anchor, something that justifies a cross country vacation, or something that more than just competes in the Southern California market, something that redefines the resort's presence in the global theme park market. The Zootopia argument is largely a thematic preference. The Avatar case is an operational, regulatory, and infrastructure commitment with a competitive angle that's been in planning, design, and now permits for over 2 years. The decision's been made, the engineering is locked in, the permits were filed, the offices will be demolished, and the resort's new arrival infrastructure is being built around it. The question was never really Avatar versus Zootopia. The question is, when you're finally going to be standing in line to visit the bioluminescent alien shores of Pandora. This is sure to spark conversation. You've heard my take? Now let's hear yours. Drop it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.